NFL owners and GMs decided to crash some parties yesterday. First, this is Jamison Hensley, our great Ravens reporter. Steve Bisciotti comes out of nowhere with the photo bomb. Best owner in sports per Bart Scott. Bisciotti, not one to usually get on the mic, shows up. It said Jamison Hensley was his favorite of the reporters. We love that. And then,
it's only 2 in Baltimore. What are we talking about?
Not to be outdone. And there's Brandon Beane, the GM of the Buffalo Bills, crashing Joe Brady.
They got uniforms?
Shot.
I was going to say,
they got uniforms?
Like an SNL skit.
Matching here. So, gentlemen, I ask you,
like
the better photo bomb, where'd it come from? Was it from Buffalo or from Baltimore yesterday?
I mean, whenever you get the owner to step
I'm going
out,
Baltimore.
You know what I'm saying?
You're going Baltimore.
Those temperatures, that's a big move.
Look, and the guy in front, he owned that building. We call that the castle out there. We got a putting green.
Okay, that's it.
Can't beat a putting green.
No votes for the Beane-Brady combo? These guys look like brothers.
I don't like that they're matching.
You don't like it?
Yeah.
No?
He's got a uniform.
What are we in third grade?
Like they're getting ready for a political convention.
It's a unified message.
That's it. We are one.
They better be unified.
Josh Allen would also join, and as we saw, he was on McAfee too, hanging out from the back saying what's up. So Buffalo seems to be happy in the building. Let's see some other spots and other organizations where they're at. We're going to run the hurry up here, do a little coaching updates for you. Let's start with the Philadelphia Eagles, who after much deliberation hired Sean Mannion as the team's offensive coordinator. Sean Mannion was the QB coach in Green Bay last year, and as a longtime NFL backup quarterback in this league, a bit of a surprise for many who have been following this. Mannion was a late addition to the interview process. Young guy in his early 30s. After talk of Dable and McDaniel and Kingsbury and these other famous names, it goes to Sean Mannion. So we start here with Bart Scott. What's your reaction to a second-year coach who has just 1 year and no play calling in his history on the resume, but longtime NFL player being the OC in Philly?
Meh. You know, this is crazy to me, the fact that I thought this would have been the best job, right? You got a team 1 year removed from the Super Bowl, a team that's always in double-digit wins. Why doesn't anybody that, has a resume want this job? And we all understand that Sirianni, his background is, the offense, but, why doesn't anybody want this job? I thought that was perplexing to me. You have two great receivers, a top offensive line, a great defense on the other side, plenty of cap space, one of the best general managers in football, and nobody wants this job. I guess it's more to meet the eye. I would want to get behind and ask some of these people that interviewed or declined to interview why they didn't want the job.
Well, to give the counter and the stuff that's been mentioned, speaking to other candidates, they said, well, Sirianni's an offensive coach.
Okay.
They've already been to the Super Bowl twice. What can I do better? And then 3, the last offensive coordinator's home got egged, and it's not exactly the easiest place to work if things don't go great early. Obviously, Sean Mannion ran at the opportunity. He is going to have that job. Harry, I think you have a different perspective on this.
Yeah, I do, because when I look at Sean Mannion, number one, he was drafted to the St. Louis Rams that then moved to Los Angeles. Who took over as the play caller? It was Sean McVay. So when you look at Sean McVay and him being able to learn that system as a backup quarterback, and then you go to Klint Kubiak playing for him, playing for Kevin Stefanski, playing for Shane Waldron, who learned under Sean McVay.
Kevin O'Connell
as well. And then lastly, coaching under Matt LaFleur, that offensive system. So the first thing that comes in my mind in Philadelphia is that Jalen Hurts, be prepared to play under center. If you're those wide receivers, tight ends, get ready for shifts and motions. There's not going to be any stagnant receivers or personnel on the football field. You're going to see a lot of things that you see from all those other football teams in that Shanahan tree now happen in Philadelphia, which I thought they desperately needed moving forward.
I was surprised, obviously, by the hire. So I started texting people in Green Bay and said, what are we getting with this guy? And everyone was raving about him. And really the thought is, you hire him now at this age where he's not the hot name, and you have him in-house, and then he's yours. You wait a year, and suddenly Sean Mannion's the hot candidate who's going to be interviewing for head coaching jobs everywhere. That's the theory. Get him in the building now, and if he gets such rave reviews, Joe, I look at it and say, okay, well, at least they rolled the dice.
My most underrated part of the hiring cycle is hearing how much a team loves a guy after they tried to hire 14 people before him.
Right, thank you.
Right, like now all of a sudden it's like, we really love this guy. Now that's not a knock on Mannion. He might have all the skill in the world, but he wasn't high on the Eagles list. So now he comes into the fold. Okay, maybe it can work. Green Bay last year was top 5 in offensive efficiency. They were top 5 in EPA. There's a lot to like about what they did. What makes the Eagles special is that they have a quarterback who can run the ball, though. And part of the problem last year was that Hurts ran the ball less. They wanted to preserve the body. Makes sense. But if a guy who runs well, and that's a big part of their offense, stops running, does it matter who the OC is? Are they able to figure out how to make up for that? Big question for Mannion.
When do we start having diminishing returns on this whole diluted, oh, he coached underneath Sean McVay, so he must be great? At some point, we got to have diminishing returns on investment, right? The fact that,
Who said he was going to be great, though? Who said he was great?
You said it was a great hire. You just applauded it.
No, I didn't say it was a great hire.
I misunderstood that. My comprehension is always bad.
What you can expect now in Philadelphia is the quarterback to be playing under center, the offense to not be stagnant.
Okay, here we go with this new age of thinking, right? Getting somebody off a tree. Right, he played underneath the one system, so he knows the system inside and out. But sometimes you have to adjust your system. Why we talk about Bill Belichick, why we talk about Andy Reid, is because there are multiple systems. Their system is predicated by the personnel that they have. Injuries happen. We talk about Sean McVay when all his receivers got hurt, what he did with the tight ends. See, when people come with these systems and they only been and known one way, they can't adjust. So what happens when the league catches up to this system? These young coordinators can't adjust when they're dealing with a veteran like Jim Schwartz, when you're dealing with a veteran defensive play caller like Robert Saleh. So what happens is, these guys got systems, but they don't have an understanding. They're not teachers. They don't have a depth of knowledge
Guy played in the league.
How football
in the league 10 years, right?
Did he? I never heard of him. I never seen him. When did he play?
This question, Joe, because you're a Philadelphia Eagles fan.
He played in the league.
You want the system that they had last year in Philly?
I do not want
that. Is that the system you want last year they had in Philly?
I would pass on that system.
Okay.
If they were to hire a Frank Smith or one of these other names,
you could have gave me Josh McCown. He played for 25 different systems. Like, give me somebody like that. Give me somebody that has a wealth of knowledge about the offensive concepts, the West Coast backgrounds about everything. I hate these guys that come in with one way of doing things because it's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. They can't adjust, and that's what happens in this league. This league is so watered down.
How you don't know if we haven't seen him yet, though, Bart?
You just told me. He played in one system. He's been coaching one system.
He listed Stefanski. He listed.
It's all the same systems.
You have selective hearing right now. That's what you have.
Well, your copper suit is giving me radioactive. Never mind. Never mind.
Well, you got a rug on.
Let's stay in the NFC East.
That's fair.
Let's go to the Giants. Let's see where the OC search stands now. So it's no secret. They thought Monken was going to be the guy. Monken gets the job in Cleveland. Now the Giants, as Adam Schefter said, are in a bit of scramble mode here to see what they can do to get an offensive coordinator. I broke yesterday that they're going to meet with Jim Bob Cooter, who did not get the job in Philadelphia. Adam Schefter had Alex Tanney, a former player with the Giants, is going to be interviewing. He's been with other teams with Indianapolis. There are other names that are being mentioned, but if you're looking at the Giants, they hired John Harbaugh, and they paid him a lot of money, and now we don't have an offensive coordinator, and we're in a bit of a mode where we got to figure out who that guy is. Harry, did the Giants make a mistake waiting on this Todd Monken story before being proactive and hiring someone else?
Of course they did. Now, I don't have a problem with them waiting. If you're going to wait on someone, make sure you have plan B, C, and D in place. Like, this is a laughingstock right now for John Harbaugh, who's now making $20 million for you to sit here and not have an offensive coordinator or have other people in your pocket that you can resort to.
Well, you think about Harbaugh, what he does have is an extensive Rolodex because he was a good coach. He comes from a coaching family. I think you can look at guys like maybe Frank Wright, maybe Doug Peterson, from his Philadelphia days, and also maybe a guy like Anthony Lynn could be some hidden guys.
Do those do anything for you if you're a Giants fan and you're like, all right, I get Frank Wright now and I get Anthony Lynn?
Yeah, why not? Frank Wright was responsible for Super Bowl in your division.
It's
Anthony
the opposite
Lynn,
of the young, hot name that everyone wants to.
Listen, all that flashy stuff don't mean nothing to Harbaugh. He's a traditionalist.
I would go Cliff Kingsbury.
Lamar saw a noticeable jump when he went from Greg Roman to Todd Monken. And some feel that Harbaugh waited too long to make that change. Now you have Harbaugh in a situation where he doesn't have his top choice. I wonder what that means for Jackson Dart.
Plenty more to come. Follow Adam Schefter. He'll have it. Coming up, the Greek Freaks Odyssey. Where will Giannis go is the question that everyone is asking in the NBA. Our crew is all over it. Plus, we're one day away from the Royal Rumble, and the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, joins us live from Saudi Arabia on the biggest challenge he expects Saturday. That and much more next on Get Up.